Today's episode is all about the question, is the album dead? So for those of us in the music industry that are putting out music, creating music, the question often comes up, is the album still a thing or is it dead? And I think that the answer is yes and no. The reason that I say that it's yes and no is because for some people, they love consuming albums. They want to listen all the way through, and that's both from a consumer standpoint and from an industry standpoint. Many consumers now, of course, are used to listening to one track here, one track there. It's a playlist culture, getting your music placed on a playlist and having one single track that can kind of stand on its own and serve to elevate your career in the long run by each individual track now, as opposed to an album. So does it make even sense to put albums out and to put all the work in and money into creating this massive project? I think as a working musician that it's a great goal to have, that you're going to put out a record because you're going to write music, you're going to get organized, you're going to get the whole thing together and go through the process. And I think it's invaluable to go through that process and kind of figure out what that's like and try to come up with a concept and come up with a band and all the things that go into it. And because I could sit here and list all the things for you, but until you go in and actually do it for yourself, you're not going to know what that feels like to lead the band and get everything together, because it's going to help you not only as a leader and for into your future as a band leader and project leader, but also as a sideman to be more conscientious of what the leader needs from you and how you can get hired more for our gigs, because you're able to be a positive influence on the session, a positive contributor to the session. From an industry standpoint, though, the album is still the thing. You can have singles, but those are like previews, you know, that gets buzz going. Someone here heard, oh, you put out a single, oh, they come out, the album is still coming out. You know, the single, the tracks, the monthly YouTube videos, the weekly YouTube videos, all that stuff is just little blips and bloops in the industry because there's so much stuff happening all the time. But when the album is released, that's the time when the industry is actually going to pay attention. That's the time to dump money into publicity, to radio, to all of the things to try to get the most reach you can out of that album. You know, a lot of radio stations won't even look at your record unless you are paying to have it publicized and coming from a certain, you know, group of individuals who are the trusted, not gatekeepers, but trusted individuals who have, you know, taste-making ability within the scene, within the industry itself. So especially in jazz, and it's definitely in larger genres as well, but specifically to jazz, when you put out an album, that's the time to invest the money in getting the music out there. And that's the time when people from the industry are going to check you out. You know, the thing that I always talk about when making albums and try to tell our artists is that it's not about making one album, it's about making 5 albums over the next 10 years if you're going to do one every other year. And that's too slow. We need to be making one every year, 18 months, as soon as you can to make a great product. Get back out there, get things moving, get things rolling. And it's about that longevity. It's about continuing to put things out there and make great art, make great music again and again and again, and to keep showing up. There's so much noise, it kind of goes along, and then when your album comes out, it goes boop, and they'll see you, and then you'll kind of duck back in, and things move along, and then it'll do it again and again, and each time you'll get a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more in terms of industry recognition and name recognition and all that sort of thing. So the name of the game is longevity, creating things over time. So for the industry, the album is still the thing. That's not to say that in 5 years it's still going to be the thing, but right now we still have to make albums, we still have to put them out, we still have to think about all the different things that go into it. You know, make a single that leads to an EP, that leads to an album, and we kind of build one thing on top of another. So I hope that'll inspire you to create content which will lead to a single, which will lead to an EP, which will lead to an album, and will help you get your music out there. And so no, I don't think the album is dead yet. I think that we're definitely moving towards a playlist culture, and we need to also be able to take advantage of that. So you need to think about how your music can be effective as a single track and also as a collective whole in an album. Thanks for watching Create, Connect, Repeat. My name is Nick Finzer. Please subscribe to the Outside In Music channel so you can see all the great work that our artists are doing, lots of exciting projects coming out all the time. And I'd love to hear your comments and questions below to help us create better and better Create, Connect, Repeat episodes to talk about the things that you guys are working on, things that you guys are thinking about. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys back here next week.